Kia ora, greetings, and welcome to our exhibition of today in regards to our journey with the canoes, the Polynesian canoe. As you can see around you, there's many canoes, but all of them are representing a group, ethnic group. And I'm originally from Niue, so of course I talk about the Niue canoe. And this is my Vaka. It is the only model that Niue has, and the same model that they built today is the same one that Captain Cook saw in 1874. So that many years ago, and it's still the same, hasn't changed pretty much. So this is my Vaka, and this is my journey today with the canoes.
Talk to us about, what have you currently been working on in this, 2024?
Let's go back to the lockdown era when people were locked at home and nothing to do, and that's where this journey began. I decided to start doing some carving and canoes, and this is what it ended up with. I decided to take a journey to the Pacific because I am fascinated with the Pacific art, especially the art of our ancestors in the canoes. And as soon as I stepped into that arena, I realized that this is going to be bigger than I expected. And I thought, because there's so much of our art, of our history, of our ancestors that we are not seeing today. And so I decided to take upon myself to pick that up and take that journey back into the era, pre-European era, to learn and understand how our people built these beautiful vessels with no chainsaws, no chisels, no axe, no tools, nothing at all. So they had to be creative and come up with the tools of their own. A very fascinating journey that we learn from what our ancestors does and how creative they are. So yes, that's the journey of the canoes in 2024. Fast forwarded from the COVID era, it has developed to where it is now. It was a hobby. Now it's become an obsession that has taken me to and will continue from here onwards. This is going to be my journey, discovering our history, our culture, our art, and our DNA.
Your background is woodwork, anything hands-on, and you made some wakas actually years and years ago. What really stirred the change to get into firstly the Niue Vaka, and then you went on this roll, and now you have more than 17, 20 different island nations represented in your carvings? How did it go from just, like you said, a hobby to now an obsession?
Well, I got curious to find out how on earth did our ancestors cut down those big, huge logs and built these wakas. How does Maori from Hawaii build those beautiful canoes? And not only that, but travel it in that journey, a long journey to Aotearoa. So that what got me curious and really look into how did they do this? The knowledge, they don't have schools. They don't learn about the physics, the science, the engineering. There's so much. And I thought, I'd like to go into their territory and learn from them. How do they do this? Fascinating journey, and I learned so much, and it got me. I want to learn more. And so I decided the only way to find out is to start building the wakas, and then we'll take it from there. It started off, as I said before, a hobby that has turned into an obsession because I've got so much out of learning. Firstly, I learned my culture. I belong there. That's where I come from. That really got me. I'm a Polynesian boy, born, bred in the Pacific, and our ancestors, what they've done. Look at what they did long before the Palangis came. They were crisscrossing the Pacific. They were doing things. They were doing amazing things. And our culture, particularly the Niue culture, made up of a group from Samoa, a canoe from Tonga, and a canoe with a small contingent from the Puka Puka in the Cook Islands. That's what made up Niue. So I think, according to the DNA, I connect to those three groups. So that was why I'm so interested in learning about that history and that culture, the canoe culture, and how they came to Niue and to where it is today.
Why were you interested in seeing the different nations? When I first saw the Vaka, I just assumed it was like what you see on TV and it's this generic looking kind of design. Little did I know there's very different designs across the nations. And so what led you into that exploration?
Well, firstly, because of my connection to Tonga and Samoa and the Cooks, I noticed the difference of their way they do things. And so I got interested in learning about how they come about with sailing, how they come about building and sailing these canoes. I think it's more for education. I want to learn about that. I want to learn about the culture and the way they do things, how they do things. And it really just taken me to a point where I'm even more curious now than ever before, because what I've learned is only just a tiny little bit. There is much more to learn. So I'm on that very beginning stage of stepping into, I want to learn the relationship between the Pacific community. And interesting enough, the discovery of the Tongan technology, the Fijian wood, and the Samoan ingenuity and creativity as well, they all work together. That I got more curious to find, because what I heard from the past is that they're always fighting. But then I discovered that during the canoe building era, there was a very strong relationship between those islands. They weren't killing each other. They were sharing ideas, knowledge, and there were a lot of journey crisscrossing in between. And so not only the Samoans and Tongans and Fijians in it, but there were other Pacific nations as well. That's what they were doing pre-European era. They were traveling, they were traders, they were doing things in the Pacific, crisscrossing the Pacific long before the Balinese came. So my curiosity is to learn more about that era, and what I'm learning is only just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to learn. So that's where I'm at, that journey. In closing, I would like to encourage our leaders. I believe that this is really important and something that is very important for us to be able to help our children, our youth, this generation, to take them back and help us to look back and go back into them, where our roots are from, and learn and understand. I think it's beneficial to them to be able to learn and understand where our roots are from, so that they can move on properly. I would encourage and open to anyone who is keen, who is interested to make contact with us. We want to partner up with you and help to learn about your culture, and build some canoes. And let's get together and have fun creating our ancestors' art and enjoy it. Thank you very much.